Hey, my crafty mavens, welcome to week 2 of the Maven Sparks. Today we are working on the second prompt of the month and of May. And so for this prompt, I want you to go back to the page that you were working on, all the beautiful petals that you created, and I want you to add circles. So we are gonna take different things to create the shapes. So I love to use like tops of things and washi tape. So I'm gonna grab one of my washi tapes, and I think I want a bigger one. So I'm gonna take, I have a bowl that just has some embellishments in it because I like to keep that kind of stuff on my desk, and I'm gonna use this for a big one. So I'm gonna do some big ones, and I just want you to do as many circles as you would like. Try to at least get 3. It really will look cool if some of them are overlapping. Now, so I want this to be inspired by you. So that saying, I want you to interpret this prompt how you feel like you want to do it. So that means that you could take pattern paper and punch it out and add those to your layout or your spread. You could go around with markers or like an acrylic paint pen and use that for your circle. And I want you to either fill in your circles or fill the outside space. So you can use paint for that. You could use markers for it. However you want to do that, you could do some kind of doodle on the outside edges of your circles. Just keep in mind that we're going to be doing more things. So the more you do, the more it is going to change and morph. So I would definitely say less is better. And so let's go and build this, this spread. I'm going to do mine and you can do yours however you want. I think I'm going to start off with a pencil. Now, one thing I have in my stash, on my desk, I have a Click Hits kit cup that they gave me, and it's perfect for holding like markers, pens. I have some charcoal pencils. I have a little brush. So I have a pencil and then scissors. And I'm going to just use the pencil first so that I can go and I can fix things if I think it needs to be fixed. And then I'm going to put circles all over my spread. And then after that, I am going to figure out what I'm going to do because I'm not really sure. Now, if you had even a bigger circle and wanted to do that and then go out from there, that would be really cool. So this is really what you think is going to look the best. But I'm going to use these 3 circles. I think these are going to be perfect. And I'm just going to go around and I think I'm going to add 3 of these and then fill in the rest. Let's work on these circles. I thought that it would be better if I sped this up just a little because I am slow. And honestly, this spread, this project that you're doing, you do not have to take a lot of time. I took way more time than I suggest because this is really just about creating something quick, something fun. But if you want to take time, go and feel free to. So I'm just taking all of these circles and I'm tracing them with the pencil. And some of the spots I am looking to see what petals or flowers are showing. And then Sometimes I'm not doing that. I'm overlapping. I'm not sure exactly at this point what I'm going to do with this spread. So I'm going to put some stuff away and clean up my desk. I like to do that. You can see my hands moving because I was deciding what I was going to do. I was trying to decide if I wanted to fill in the circles or fill in the space. And I decided I wanted to fill in the space. And I made it complicated by adding 2 different colors, but I'm using the same purple. You can use whatever colors you want. You do not have to stick with it. You don't even really have to fill in the spots all the way. I would suggest picking an area to fill in. You could also use you could still use watercolor, though using a different medium kind of helps get you going. Now I'm looking for impasto paint because guys, I thought, oh, this is going to be really fun to use, and I do end up using it. So this is in the old kits. I think I still have one in the store, but I still have some small March stuff. I think that's where they were at. So I'll make sure I link in the description below if I have some of that stuff in the store. I know I still have at least one of the impasto paint, so, but I might have a little bit more in containers for some of the kits. And then I decide to use this black pit marker. This is a Faber-Castell marker, and these are really fun because if you don't wait, or if you don't wait and you smudge around the outside, you can get a really cool effect too. So this is where you can do something really fun. So I'm gonna try these 2, and I realize, oh, I'm all out. And this is super, super thick paint, like really thick. So thick that it will dry on your mat. So I had a little bit left and in one of the tubes, and I really had to squeeze, but I'm going to add some liquid fluid medium, acrylic medium. And this is for airbrush, but really it's just acrylic medium paint thinner. And I like to use this when I'm using acrylic paint because I want to keep the integrity of the paint. It really helps keep the color and the vibrance of the paint without it without losing too much of that color, because sometimes when you add water, I feel like it really tones down the color. Now, this is where I realize this is so thick, and I will not have enough to do around each of the circles. So I wanted to do that darker purple around the circles first, and then I'm going to go in and add the lighter color. As I'm doing this, I realize, oh, I actually want to do the lighter color first around the edges in the bigger spaces, and then go over top of it with this darker purple, because that darker purple is a lot thicker. Also, it dries a lot faster because it is so thick. So as you can see, I'm trying to make sure I get the most out of this paint because it is really nice paint. This is definitely, if you want to create some kind of texture on a page, this would be really fun to do like with a palette knife, and you could go around it. I mean, you do not have to use a paintbrush. I used a paintbrush because I wanted to get, and I used that thinner one around the edges because I really wanted to get in the lines, and I knew I could angle it and get in the lines. But honestly, you could use a palette knife. That would be really cool because I think you'd get a lot of texture. And I'm fanning it out so it kind of has this look of like a flower petal. You know how like some, like especially irises and some of the other flowers like that, you will get a darker color either on the middle or on the where you can pollinate the flower in the middle of the flower. And then on the outside of the petals is a lot of times it'll get lighter, or sometimes it's vice versa. So I kind of wanted to mimic that look without it being like, oh, it's not going to look exactly like a flower because it's not. And honestly, we're going to cover more of this up anyway. So So that's the thing I want you guys to remember, is that we are creating something that's going to last. And throughout this process, we're going to be adding and building layers. So a lot of this stuff that we're doing is just going to add to the layers, and you can make it as complicated or as simple as possible. And I am finding that that purple paint is really wanting to dry up on me. And it could also be because I've had it open for a little while. That does make a difference when you have a thick paint like this. And then I also realized that I want a darker color from that chroma paint, and that's paint that I got at Creativation. So I want you guys to also use stuff that's in your stash. You are more than welcome to use stuff in kits if you get kits, but that is not necessary. I think all of us have so much product, and this is just a fun way to use and learn your products too. So, and that's really where this idea sparked from, is the giving us room so that we can learn and grow with our products and not feel intimidated. So the things that you're doing today, you can take this and do something similar, or maybe like the opposite of it on a layout. This can very much be translated from an art journal page to a scrapbook page, and I designed these prompts to be that way. I want you to decide how you want your prompts to go. I want you to decide how you play, and I'm just giving you some small little techniques and some small little prompts so that you can start playing around. Now, so everyone's projects are going to be different. I do want you guys to share, just share that this is whatever week it is, if you do this. So that'll gain some interest so other people can join in, because this is a free thing. I will say that probably next year, or somewhere down the line, we probably will turn this into, or I will turn this into a course, because I think this is going to be something really fun and special, but I want to see how it goes. And I want to be able to offer things to people for free, because we spend so much money on product and everything, and so I want there to be encouragement to use it. So I am finishing up my filling in all my spots, right? And so you're going to see me start to do something, because as I was doing this, I realized, okay, I knew I wanted to go back around the circles again. I'm going to try to smudge with the pit marker a little bit. I'm going to fill in the overlapping spots. I decided that that was something that I wanted. I didn't think about smudging the outsides until later, and I really should have done it after I outlined each one again. I just really wanted to make it bold because I want this part to stand out once we add another layer, because we have 3 more layers. It's going to be super fun. And pit markers on acrylic paint, really, you can do some really cool blending things. So, but then I also take an acrylic paint marker, and I would say if you don't have one of these, you should get one. And I've seen some videos, and maybe I'll do something on it about how to refill it, because it's pretty simple. Like, you can use whatever, like the paint that you have, and refill it. So I'm just adding a little bit of white just to kind of, once again, make it stand out just a little bit more. And then I decide that some of these petals I want to outline and trace. Now, because this is a white pen and it's very thin acrylic paint, it is kind of hard to see, but in person you will see it, and you'll see it on the photo too. So, and I ended up going out going back later and doing more to the petals. I think I almost did all of the petals that you could see, and I made sure that they went out of the circles, and I really like this. So this is something fun and a little bit of a twist that you can add to your page to make it really fun. And I really liked the petals that went across multiple circles. That was really fun too. So, and I just tried to use the outlines that were already there. So this is week 2. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you are enjoying learning and growing and doing something fun, crafty. And I just encourage you guys to continue to play and be hungry to play and learn.